a bad actor in, the agents in the building left their position to try to find that individual?
My understanding is he was on the ground moving around the perimeter, and they moved to actively aid in the search along with additional municipal officers who were.
Does it make sense that ESU agents would be positioned inside the windows so they'd have a better vantage point out into where the X is, or where the asset is located?
Could you ask that question again, Congressman?
It makes sense to me that the ESU agents would be positioned in these windows, the windows that they're talking about in this building, so they could have better eyes on the asset, the president, instead of internal to the building milling about. Is that a fair assessment?
I'm remiss because I don't know what the conversation was and what the responsibilities delineated.
I think my concern is if we did have agents, let's just speak hypothetically here, if agents were positioned in these windows in order to provide protection for the asset, and then they were released, and I'm assuming they work in pairs, correct? There's only 2 of them, or is there 4 of them in the building? Do we know the answer?
From my briefings, there were 2.
There were 2. But to me, it would make sense that one would stay behind in order to cover the X, or cover the asset, and then one would engage in activity to find the actor that they were trying to identify, correct? I think my concern is the individuals may and I hate to say this out loud, but if we didn't do due justice and we left that asset exposed because both ESU agents went to look for a bad actor, we just gave the shooter a bowling alley.
I don't know what their responsibilities and their rules of engagement were, not having seen the Secret Service operations plan. And I'm reluctant to speculate at this point, 10 days out, sir. I would rely on the reviews yet to come.
When it comes to Secret Service, talk comms matrix here real quick. When it comes to Secret Service and the local law enforcement, the state law enforcement, I understand that they are housed in the same, is there a common communication channel? And if so, does each agent and each officer that's working the event have, and I'm going to use old terminology, do they have an avalanche call? Do they have a no joy? When they see something that raises the red flag, can any officer radio in, go, no go? We are not, hold the asset in place. We have somebody that we're looking for. And if they do or if they don't, how many people does that have to go through to get to the right actor in order to say stop?
I don't know.
Okay, we need to figure that out. Because if I'm an ESU agent in this window and I have to radio a person who has to radio somebody who has to radio somebody else to get to the main person, then to call it, the dishes are done.
I'm aware of 3 radio systems in operation: PSPs, the Secret Service, and Butler counties.
All communicating on different channels.
Technically, yes, but the integration occurs. I can only speak from PSP. Our integration occurs by us having somebody inside of the Secret Service command post. Again, for an incident of this magnitude, in theory, the more people you have on the same channel, if there was a medical emergency or a lost 6-year-old and everybody keys up at once, it paralyzes your communication.
I understand that, but if there's one specific channel that you can go to call an avalanche and say, which is freeze the asset, I think that would be necessary. Now, you mentioned something earlier. You guys have done about 20 events this year in Pennsylvania. And you spoke, it's common. Now, the military folks in this room are going to understand this. The first month of deployment and the last month of deployment are the most dangerous times to be in combat. One, because you get there the first month, you have no idea what's going on. And then you're there and you get common. You get complacent. And before you leave, that last month, situational awareness kind of dies down a little bit, and that's when bad things happen. There's absolutely nothing common in protecting a president, ever. And as we move forward, I don't want that to be a term that we use, because common just got our president, our former president, shot. And if these assets would have been on high alert, and I'm not saying that they weren't, but when things become common, we get complacent.
I've instructed our commanders moving forward, if there is any, my expectation would be that through the collaboration and the planning of these events, you want more people there, you want people voicing issues and everybody operating on the same page in a unified command. But I have instructed our commanders, the ops plans get reviewed prior to this, up through our Deputy Commissioner of Operations, Lieutenant Colonel Bivens, seated here behind me today. But as a result of this, if there are any issues that our people see, we are ordering them to flag them, and we'll work collaboratively moving forward for the remainder of the season and moving forward.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman yields. And our witnesses, at any point where we're going to probably go at least another hour here, if you need to take a break, just let me know and just give me the high sign or a thumbs up. Y'all are okay right now? Or are you?
Yeah, we can take a break.
Take a break? All right, we'll do 5 minutes and 5 minutes only. The restroom's right down the hallway to your right. Adjourn.
Thank you. I was just having the same thought.
You just want to fire away?
Hey Josh, are you starting to get a better feel for how revenue sharing and NIL?
Okay, we got some requests from people to make this video. It's a couple days late, but over the weekend, this would have been, I think, Saturday. The Illinois men's basketball Twitter account, shout out to them, as always, IlliniIMBB, tweeted a new minute-long video of what appears to be a scrimmage.
Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today? This is your boy Online Poker Tournament on TikTok, OPTP Online Poker Tournament Player at YouTube. We are going to go ahead and register for this 1500 Daily Monster Stack. We are a little late. So we're going to go ahead and get in here. Let's see here. And try to get started. So all right, so we are registered, 2,500 chips in front of us, waiting for the table to get ready. Please like, follow, subscribe. Give us a shout out when you get a chance.
Image and tweeted it, keeping it competitive.
First hand in the button, blinds are 75, 100 already. Jack 5. Offsuit in the button. I'm going to fold that.
And this is, I would say, the most fast-paced, action-based footage that we have seen of this team. We've obviously seen clips of a lot of different players. We have seen a little bit of up-and-down stuff sprinkled in, but this is really like 60 seconds of real basketball-esque footage at a very high level, fast-paced, blah, blah, blah. You saw a little bit of everybody in this. There's moments.
All right, next hand, we are in the hijack, and we have ace-4 of clubs in the cutoff. In the hijack here, let's see what happens. We're going to go ahead and bump this up to 450. See what kind of table we are sitting at. Fun. Now we flop 2 clubs, nut flush draw here. See if we can push this. We are going to min raise. No need to get too crazy inside these raises. 640. All right, let's see a turn. There's our ace. That's a good place for us to be. We got the ace with the ace of clubs. We're going to call again. Nothing too crazy. I mean, we do have the ace. Did not re-raise us pre-flop. I mean, what's he betting here? I guess we'll find out. Oh. Nice hand. Ace-king, no pre-flop raise. That is what we are dealing with right now. Great hand to start off with. Fucking wonderful. Douchebag-ass people. Y'all don't re-raise? Horrible. Very first fucking hand. Nope. Alright, so Bentley doesn't re-raise. Everybody's got ace-king, 2-7 in this piece. You both get a straight.
Order. I now recognize the gentleman.
Is it going to be one of these days?
Witnesses for appearing here today. I just want to join my colleagues in remembering our colleague, Sheila Jackson Lee. She was incredible at this job. She was brilliant. She was tenacious. She was tough, but she cared about her district, cared about this country. And perhaps my favorite thing was her taking the 5-minute clock as a recommendation as opposed to a hard set time. But to the matter today, I just want to ask Colonel Parrish, how many times have you worked with the Secret Service on events like this in Pennsylvania?
So year to date, we're in the low 20s.
So low 20s just this year.
Yes, in an average year, it's about the same number, but given the election year, there's more.
And I'm sorry for not knowing this, but in your entire career, that would make it roughly how many times?
Dozens, I would say.
Okay.
All right, our very next hand, we have 5-4 of clubs. We're going to see a flop. 600 raise here from Crazy Rivers. Let's see a flop. I'm just being way loose today. That just upset me to start off with ace-king on that flop. He doesn't raise pre-flop. Just fucking goofy, dude. Like, this is how these guys are going to play today.
Was identified by the shooter. Shooter turns his rifle on him. How long between that encounter and the first shot?
So I'm glad you asked me that question, Congressman. I'd like to clarify. So it was a matter of seconds.
Okay. Because I think earlier it might have been minutes.
Correct, and I appreciate you asking that question and allowing me to clarify it on the record. When I assigned that number, which again, I don't want to get locked into a timeline of 3 minutes before, that's probably a total number of amount of time that he was on the roof. When the one local officer hoisted the other one up and subsequently falls, releases himself after being faced with that.
Shooter shuffles across the roof.
He's already, I believe, close to being in his final position there.
Okay.
And I'm told it's, again,
4,200.
sequence of events, not a timeline based on the prior criteria laid out, but seconds after that is when the first shot's rang.
That's helpful. The chairman and I were conferring on that because it would have been there's many failures on that day, but it would have been a critical failure if a gunman had turned his rifle on law enforcement and no one had pulled the president off the stage if it was a matter of minutes, but seconds.
Thank you for allowing me to clarify.
No, of course, and thank you for answering the question. Just going back.
Next hand, 10-5 spades.
From Will Riley. There's moments from Trey White. There are moments from Kylan Boswell. There are moments from Ty Rogers. There's a big time moment from Dre Gibbs Lawhorn. There was no Kasparis as far as I could tell in this video. That would likely be because he is playing overseas right now.
Ace 10 offsuit here again. 0 Sky. Let's see what they do. I don't know why. I feel like I want to play right now, but I don't want to play. And it's a strange feeling. We're not even going to raise. We're just going to call. So this guy can do 5,400 again. Damn, I'm in last position right now? I should have called his ass. You got your ace king. Yeah, had his ass beat. Donkey ass dude. Just did that to give away the fucking money to this guy. Now you gave the fucking best guy at the table all the fucking money. Douchebag, dude. And right now there's only fucking 9 places that pay. Is that what that said? 9 places pay? Oh, this tournament's not worth it. Not at now, anyway. Quarter blinds. 1, 2. 30,000. Can't even reload up either. Pocket threes here. Of course, Crazy Rivers raises. I think I actually have to be done. I'm gonna call, but if I want to play right now. Let's see. 7-7 ace. This douchebag from Springfield, Illinois cop needs to be fucking hung. Guy says, I rebuke, the lady says, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And the cop shoots her in the head. Shot her right in her head. Back three, offsuit.
He keeps doing the back and forth, and we know he's been shining. But everybody else on this team was there except for Ivisic and Kasparis. I've heard Ivisic is coming later this week, so more on that hopefully soon. But I have some takeaways from this video. First, I'll throw it to you broadly. What'd you see from the latest Illinois scrimmage?
Well, you didn't mention Benjamin.
Was there a Ben moment? Was
Oh,
there?
there was a couple Ben moments.
Let me watch this back. Let me make sure I'm not
Yeah,
missing
please.
it. Oh, there he is clapping.
No, go lock in.
I'm locking it. Oh, there he is getting scored over by Kerry Booth. Oh, yeah, and shooting a jumper we haven't seen if it goes in.
Lock in. Also, you want to talk about players getting scored over? Because it looks like Colin Boswell was in hell in this scrimmage. But seriously though, we talk about this Illinois team, and the thing that makes them special is their depth. I think that's what
Ben's
people.
getting torched by Ty Rodgers off the dribble right now.
He got torched by Ty Rodgers. Okay, well, let's not do the torch.
Ben's been scored on 3 times, and the video's 20 seconds in.
I think you're confusing Ben with some other players.
No, there's only one Ben on this team.
Okay, you didn't even see him the first time, so I feel like you just throw him out of your mind. Anyways, the thing that makes this Illinois team, I think, so intriguing to Illinois fans and maybe even some other people across the country is that though they might not have the certified like Terrence Shannon Jr., Marcus Damask, they might have one of those guys and like a KJ and a Kasparis or Will Riley or whatever those guys are. But when you go through the whole roster and you get down to like the 12th guy, or their 10th guy, the talent level there is better than it is at other schools, right? At that position. So it's good to see. Not any defensive highlights in here either, which I love. We're keeping the brand strong. We're still playing our style of basketball. And two, once again, Illinois men's basketball social media team, they're going for the early win this year because I don't know who's the.
Just playing my button here. 6. King 6 unless he raises, so fuck him.
on the music, who's on the aux, but absolutely incredible choice of music with Gunna Skybox and this one coming off the Babyface E in the last video. If no one takes notice of you guys doing that, just know that I see it and I appreciate it.
All right, I want to play a game of preseason buy, sell, or I'm keeping an eye on that. Those are your three options. You can buy, you can sell, or you can keep an eye on that. I have a bunch of things I've pulled out of this video that I am curious about. Let's start with number one. Kylan Boswell booty ball. We see a Kylan Boswell post touch, strong back down, turn post fade. Looks pretty. That was part of the sell on Kylan coming to Illinois in the first place, was like he would be a really good booty ball option. As far as I could tell in this video, we didn't see a ton of the quote-unquote booty ball style from anybody else, but we saw it from Kylan. Do you buy, sell, or I'm keeping an eye on that could be a thing for Illinois?
I'd like to sell that.
Why?
Because I think that Kylan playing booty ball means too many dribbles.
This move was nice. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good move, but I'd like to sell that.
Okay. Next up is something you've been begging for a while. Will Riley with a really nice assist. And I believe it was to Hummer. Rickhouse made a nice finish in traffic off of this. But Will Riley navigating, getting downhill, gets a little bit of a 2-on-1 situation, throws a lob, assist. That's, as far as I know, the first big passing chops that we've seen. I will also say we saw other things from Will Riley in this footage. We saw a Will Riley dunk. We saw, I think, a couple Will Riley big scoring moments, actually. But the pass from Will Riley to Hummer was nice. Do you buy, sell, or keep an eye on Will Riley as a passer?
I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Him attempting a pass, to me, is noteworthy.
You're being a little harsh on that, are you not? I think people need to call you out on this.
As far as what, him not having a pass button?
Yeah, I don't think that's as real as you're making it. He averaged pretty good assist numbers in the past.
We still need
Well, did he?
Yeah.
to get to 12.
At least that people have told me this, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, like high school numbers. Well, I mean, they're high school numbers, but I believe he can pass the ball a little bit.
This can be clipped and thrown in my face when it doesn't happen, but I don't think there's like a world where he averages like over 2 assists a game.
Okay. For the record, I didn't give my answers. I'm actually going to buy Boswell booty ball, and I also want to say I've swung back around on this. I think we rushed to judgment on early Boswell returns a little too quick. They're like a month ago, I still thought this was the headliner in the transfer class. I'm happy Kasparis looks like a superstar, but Kasparis being a superstar doesn't mean Kylan Boswell is going to be irrelevant. It just doesn't. Like they could both be good together. And Boz is the most proven member of this class. We need to not forget that. I think he's kind of carrying himself like an alpha in all of this footage that we've seen. And then Will Riley passer, I'm keeping an eye on that too. I don't think they're going to do a lot of it because Kasparis and Kylan are great passers, but it's good to know he has it. Ty Rodgers. Yet another off the dribble jumper. It seems like every time we see Illinois footage, he's taking and making off the dribble shots. It was another mid range, and it did come at the expense of Benham Rickhouse, who does not look like he could guard you right now. Are you buy, selling, or keeping an eye on Ty Rodgers shooting off the dribble?
I guess Ben is the only Illinois player that we're holding to a defensive standard.
I mean, he's getting torched in every clip, Cart.
Torched. Okay. Good thing defense doesn't matter with this team.
Yeah, I guess not.
I
guess not.
Yeah. Also, we'll go. You're just throwing out like Ben getting cooked in this film a bunch of times. I'd like to double check your eyes on that one. I am. Can you answer this one first?
Answer what one first?
I thought you asked the buy or sell question.
Oh, the Ty Rodgers off the dribble?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm selling.
Okay. All right, good. I thought I was getting swaying too negative. I would like to sell as well.
No, I'm selling all things Ty Rodgers shooting for forever, going forward until something changes.
Okay. Works for me.
Let's see here. Dre Gibbs Lawhorn had a very loud moment. Couple, actually. He had one super explosive off the dribble dunk, though. Gets going to his right. Who's this on? Who did he blow by? I think Jake Davis. Yeah. Blows by Jake Davis, elevates in traffic. I mean, you can take a screenshot of this. His head's at the rim. This was the sell Andre coming in, was like Carson Edwards like explosion. And I feel like this was one of the first times we actually saw it in a basketball setting. I think we also saw there's a clip of DGL on the defensive end, just like slapping the floor and having a moment. I think there was another moment early for DGL with a shot. All in all, like lots of DGL in this video. So I don't know what to make the buy, sell, or I'm keeping an eye on that for DGL. Let's just say DGL as a whole having a big role on this team.
I'm buying it, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm buying that if there is a situation where maybe another guard is struggling, that DGL can be one that steps in.
Okay. Okay. I'm keeping an eye on it. Keeping an eye on it. This is the best looking version of DGL I've seen in any sort of footage. And it's what I hope a fully realized version of DGL looks like, but still don't know where it fits in on this team. Only other thing from this that I saw, really, we saw Jake Davis and Trey White presumably take and make threes. I don't think there's anything to buy or sell from those guys, though, is there?
No, the only thing that the maybe buy is that returns have been that Jake Davis has just been like a knockdown shooter. And if you're going to have these other passing pieces around him, like a Kasparis, having a guy that could be just a knockdown shooter, spot-up shooter is something that a team needs. And Jake Davis could possibly be that guy. So I'm going to monitor that. I'm going to keep an eye on it. As well as with Trey White, I'm going to keep an eye on that as well. Just because, like, obviously Trey White has had productive seasons in college, granted for 2 losing basketball teams. So you never really know what that's going to look like or what his role is going to look like with Illinois. So I'm just going to keep an eye on him at this point.
Can I sell the take you just sent me via text?
I did not mean to send that to you.
Who did you mean to sell that or send that to then?
I don't know.
You're just lying again on camera, Cart. Do you want to address this take or no?
I mean, I'd like to save it, honestly, if we ever get to a hot take segment, because this might be my either my glorious take or God, that guy's an effing idiot take.
Well, it's your take. And one thing a true takes artist is not allowed to do is unveil another man's take. So if you're saying you want to take your take with you today, then who am I to take your take from you? But it's a good take if you want to take it.
I'll get it out there. By the end of the year, DGL is probably going to play more than Boswell. I think DGL is going to be better than Boswell.
Sell. Could not sell quick enough.
I'm buying.
Is this because you're more out on Boswell or in on DGL?
In on DGL.
I think you're lying. I don't think that's the truth. I think this is because you are completely out on Kylan Boswell.
I don't think so.
So what do you mean? Like DGL is just going to overtake him?
I just think that DGL being like the scorer type next to Kasparis will work better than having 2.
All right, we finally got some kind of hand here. We're just going to go ahead and make it raise 1,200 and see what we can get. Maybe they come over the top. Maybe they don't. It's been a pretty horrible tournament. If it can go wrong, it has gone wrong. But it is what it is. Maybe I should start finding... I don't know. I feel like maybe I have to play higher price tournaments if I want to get the results that I want. I don't think playing $10 tournaments, $20 tournaments, $50 tournaments are going to get me where I want. I mean, that was the first hand I got, and they all folded. They didn't even call my raise pre-flop.
I think it'll work better. Like, I think it fits better than Boswell and Kasparis.
So it's kind of a fit thing.
Yeah, fit definitely plays a part of it to me.
All right, if it's fit, I can at least understand it a little more than on paper, just player versus player.
Right. I mean, it's going to come down to, like, if there's a world where DGL is a better shooter than Colin Boswell, I already think he's more athletic. So like, you know, he has some things like blow past guys off the dribble. Um, so yeah, there's my take. It's out there in the world. I can't wait for it to blow up in my face.
Quite a take. It is quite a take. I can't wait to see Tom Ivisic get here. I would like to see more Merez. Like we saw one catch and dunk finish from Merez in this video, but like
We need Big T to get there because we need to see Merez versus Big T. I don't need to see Merez versus, with all due respect, Jason Jackus. Like I think he might redshirt this season.
we need to see some big man stuff. And I get that last year Illinois wanted to play no big. I think that pissed everybody off though. Like, I mean, from talking to Coleman was like, yeah, that plan sucked. I hated it. So like I want to see a big man of relevance. It was better when Illinois had Kofi Coburn than it has been without a center. And I think Merez and Tom could both have an impact, but I want to see it sooner rather than later because it feels like every highlight.
Okay, they moved me tables again. Like, what is going on? How many times are we going to move tables so I can't even get used to the people I'm fucking playing? I mean, this guy's back. But, look, I don't understand. Zero Sky was the one fucking doing this stupid shit before. Same fucking dude. Oh, I might be done with it. I might have to just go cash games. I might just have to go cash games to get to where I want to go.
Feels very small ball E to me right now. But all right, good on you, Illinois. Love anytime we get Illinois footage. Please keep putting out more shit on the daily for us. Car, you know what I love about you.
Because of the call of the suspicious person. So they left their post there to go look for him. They're the same individuals who attempted to climb up the building and were scared away by the shooter pointing the gun, right?
I reclaim my time. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm just wondering why they weren't able to find him, because even while they were looking, they could have still looked out that window that they had access to. All right. Colonel Paris, I'm just going to say it. Are you aware, sir, that many Americans believe this was very likely not a lone shooter, but a coordinated assassination attempt? Have you been getting those messages from people like I have?
I have not, sir.
You haven't? Well, there's a lot of people in this room that have been getting the same messages. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that a lot of Americans are like, this doesn't add up, this doesn't make sense, guys? How could this many things have gone wrong, right? Like the things I pointed out, a 20-year-old kid, got 150 yards of the President of the United States with an AR-15, flew a drone to conduct site surveillance, was spotted with a rangefinder ranging targets, then lost, had advanced explosive devices on him with no military training. Nobody was placed in the most obvious spot to conduct counter-sniper operations. All
right, we're back. I'm just going to shove this hand. Maybe not. I mean, there's still a lot of big blinds left. I still have 33 big blinds. I don't care. I don't even care anymore. I don't know if I want to play right. I don't think I'm in the mood. It's only $10. So we're going to start getting uber aggressive. We're going to call raises. We're going to raise I'm just going to get aggressive. And I'm just going to play some poker now. I'm going to play like it's a low-limit cash game. Kind of what it feels like. Got 3 diamonds on the board right now. Fuck it. I'm going to shove. We're going to go for it. I don't care. Apparently, that's the only way to get it. It's just not to care. On to the next hand. Ace-8. It's enough to see a flop. I'm going to just try to see a bunch more flops. I mean, I only have, I got 40 big blinds left now. I had, what, 33? So, 25 big blinds because this guy's a fucking donkey. Can't even fucking do it. And he hits a king. He hits his king, though. What a donk. Of course he gets it. Isn't that crazy? And this is what I'm talking about. I just keep calling him a donkey every single time. Every single time.
Was a sniper in the SEAL teams, Colonel. As soon as I got out of the SUV and I saw that that water tower, I was like, that's exactly where I'd be. Put me right there. So obvious. After partisan attempts to bankrupt him, imprison.
So just for clarification, it was the ESU guys that were manning those buildings?
Yep.
And they left because of the call of the suspicious person. So they left their post there to go look for him. They're the same individuals who attempted to climb up the building and were scared away by the shooter pointing the gun, right?
I reclaim my time. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm just wondering why they weren't able to find him, because even while they were looking, they could have still looked out that window that they had access to. All right, Colonel Paris, I'm just going to say it. Are you aware, sir, that many Americans believe this was very likely not a lone shooter, but a coordinated assassination attempt? Have you been getting those messages from people like I have?
I have not, sir.
You haven't? Well, there's a lot of people in this room that have been getting the same messages. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that a lot of Americans are like, this doesn't add up, this doesn't make sense, guys? How could this many things have gone wrong? Right? Like the things I pointed out, a 20-year-old kid, got 150 yards of the President of the United States with an AR-15, flew a drone to conduct site surveillance, was spotted with a rangefinder ranging targets, then lost, had advanced explosive devices on him with no military training. Nobody was placed in the most obvious spot to conduct counter-sniper operations. I was a sniper in the SEAL teams, Colonel. As soon as I got out of the SUV and I saw that water tower, I was like, that's exactly where I'd be. Put me right there. So obvious. After partisan attempts to bankrupt him, imprison him for 750 years, and countless depictions as a modern-day Hitler, are you surprised, sir, that a lot of Americans are like, maybe there's more to this story?
I wouldn't begin to speculate about what the American people think, sir.
Colonel, did your team make entry and conduct investigation at the suspect's home?
People that participated in that securing of it, there were bomb assets that we provided.
Mr. Chairman, can I have 30 more seconds?
Yeah, I'm letting everybody kind of.
Okay.
On the night of. Since then, none.
Did you get any reports from any of your agents of anything fishy?
Forgot. Jack 10 suited in the small blind. Right there. 29 big blinds left. I'm going to let Silver Eagle bet, and then I'm going to... Okay, and now we're going to go all in. See what happens here. Maybe we get a call, maybe we don't. Nope, he folds. All right, up to 39.6. Just what we're going to have to do. Just get over-aggressive. If I sense weakness, I am going to fire. It's going to cost everybody their whole stack if I hit the flop. We're going to have to call it all off if I hit the flop. This is not one of those flops I hit. What do you got? We're only 6,000 down now. Starting stack. There's an ace. Been nice. But I don't know. All right, next hand. (10-8) offsuit. Zero Sky is our big better here. He's got 2.5 more than we do. This guy bets 3.5 big blinds here at Kurt. We're gonna fold because it's 10-8 is not really something I'm. 10-8 suited I'd call, but 10-8 offsuit is just calling just to call for no reason, which is Doesn't make much sense to me. I just want to see what Zero Sky does. All right, there's your flop.
At the home?
I was briefed on,
Was there any silverware found in the home or trash?
I have nothing in the briefing that I was given, sir.
Was it extremely clean, almost like a medical lab? Were you given any of those reports?
I was not giving any of those details, sir. I can't.
Okay, that's what I'm hearing. Interesting. The last thing I want to enter into the record, Mr. Chairman, this is article opinion from, I believe, the Washington Post by Robert Kagan. A Trump dictatorship is increasingly inevitable. We should stop pretending. This article compares Trump to Caesar and attempts to justify the assassination of President Trump. And I think even though we want to dodge around it and not make this partisan, I think we all know that a lot of this has to do with the rhetoric, the very violent rhetoric that has led up to this. Thank you. I yield back.
Gentleman yields, and so ordered on the entry of that into the record. I now recognize Mr. Burkeen for 5 minutes of testimony, or witness questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alexander, would you mind moving that just a little bit forward here so I can... Colonel Paris, can you see that, or am I obstructing your view?
I believe I can see it, sir.
Alexander, would you mind? I'm sorry. Can we shift it just a little bit to your left, Alexandria? There we go. Okay. Better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a picture I took yesterday on the grounds, looking out of that second-story window that has the corridor that connects the AGR building, the American Glass Research Building, with where the shooter's location, and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to point to the shooter's location as we were made aware. From that X is where the shooter was shared with us. His body was found. From this viewpoint, there's some videos that make it look like he's more this direction, but from the perception, it kind of is confusing. But he was more towards that opposite side. This window, second story, it's the second window from the right side. That window has this view where they could clearly, those ESU officers that were stationed, given access by the property owner to that window, could see the shooter had they stayed in that man position. This is there moving towards the location of President Trump with the red barns back here. His stage was right in front of that. And you can see a window here that is absolutely going to obstruct the view to be able to look to the 20 or 30 different barn structures, the cattle building, the sheep building, the hog building, the rodeo arena by the pond. The many structures, there's 50 buildings within a 500-yard radius of where President Trump was at. So many vulnerabilities. Do you see a problem with that window being in the way of someone being able from this position to be able to take care of the asset?
A casement window would present a tactical concern for full field.
And I understand potentially, this was air conditioning on top of this second-story building wasn't, and so maybe that was a consideration. But ultimately, Secret Service is the one who made the determination of placement or contacting or making sure the plan was in coordination with the property owner for gaining admittance from the property owner for this second-story window. Is that correct? That was Secret Service's plan.
Correct. Ultimately, it's on this.
It's on Secret Service for that plan. All right. My question is, if it's their plan, did they not indicate that someone had to stay manned in that location? Because we're being told that when the two officers, local PD, were trying to lift themselves on the opposite side to get a look at the gentleman, and he turns his gun and they dropped off the building, this would have been a perfect opportunity. Someone would be on the radio. They could have taken him out from this location. Did the Secret Service plan not include directives from staying in those positions?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know. All right, here's another question. With the 2 minutes that you said that there was an opportunity from the time that they were hoisted up, looked at the shooter, you're given the responsibility, it's just as delegated in the outer perimeter, to secure the area. Why weren't they able to immediately call their supervisor, who would then be authorized to issue a hold on the asset or a get him off the stage call? Why does it have to be, as your testimony says, they took a picture, sent it to Secret Service 20 minutes before the incident of the shooting, and they have to wait for a response? Why is not the line of communication? I understand they're on different radio frequencies. Why were they not empowered to say?
Got pocket twos here in the small blind. 2.5 big blinds, 7.5 big blinds. That's not fucking worth it. Fold.
If we send something suspicious, then state police, local law enforcement, sheriff's department, each one, the head official of each one of those departments, if we entrusted them with enough responsibility to secure that environment, then we ought to give them the responsibility to issue a hold call because of something that they see as a threat. Are they empowered to do that, or does it have to all go through Secret Service to issue a hold?
I can only say what I know about the state police operations plan, and I do not know the answer to your question, sir.
So
I do not know the answer. I don't know what the protocol would be to issue the hold order. And just as a point of clarification that I tried to clean up with the congressman from New Jersey before, when the two municipal officers were, one was hoisted.
Can I jump on that 2 to 3 minutes, because I got limited time here. That's
Just to
two.
make sure that was seconds before. That was seconds before Crooks started firing.
Not okay. You had said earlier today it was 2 to 3
I
minutes,
wanted to
but
make
you're
sure
saying
I cleaned
seconds
that up for
before.
the second time. Yes, sir.
Okay, but even if they're hoisting, your testimony today, if I understood you correctly, it was two different officers that were hoisting to get a look at him, not the ones who were manned in this view.
That is my understanding. Yes, sir.
Okay, so had they remained in there, they immediately would have seen the incident taking place if they were on the same line of communication, and they could have taken the asset out.
I'm remiss to say that because I don't know what their general rules of engagement and assignment were from the Secret Service.
It just looks to me like a major breakdown of communication. This procedure looks
utilized
to send conduct investigation,
include directives from state.
All right. There's 4 big blind bet in front of us. We got ace jack here. 94 big blinds. That guy's kind of a bully at this table. So let's ship it. Oh, that was a dumb move. That looks like dumb clown. So we're going to probably lose this hand. Oh, Lord, how mercy. This is the luck that I get. Look, nobody did anything pre-flop. Now, do I have the worst hand? Oh, I got an ace. Oh, but a king hit? Give me a 10. That is the most donkey shit. Do you see this shit? The most fucking donkey shit, dude. All right, I'm done.